Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is Tuesday, and well, the market snapped back a little bit. Definitely, Tesla's moving nicely up. It's up for over 100 points, believe it or not, today. I wish that I, had caught that bounce. I kind of thought about it in the morning, but I didn't do it. But it seems like it is bouncing, but we're still not out of the woods. Because it looks like the market is still kind of in this sort of funk. It's still pulling back. It's still market in correction, but it has the Nasdaq has definitely bounced today, and that's kind of what I want to show you here. Basically, we are up for the day. The Nasdaq is up almost 4%, and this is really due to Tesla, Peloton, some other big names that have bounced. And so we'll see how that comes out. But the S&P 500 up about 2%. The Dow Jones is up too. So it's looking decidedly good. Now, is the correction ended? Probably not. And we're definitely still very cautious on everything. But here is a chart of the here is a chart of the Nasdaq Composite, and as you can see, it has bounced and it's pulled above that very key $1,300 level. That's the 13,000 level. That's what I always talk about. And so it looks as if it may retake the 50-day line, and if it does, then then we have seen the test, and we may be going higher. But right now, it's still time to be very cautious with positions. Be very careful going in. And in positions because we don't know until it moves above this line here, until it moves above the 50-day line. We don't know if this is going to hold, but it looks fairly good, and we may be seeing some movement upwards. So that is indeed a good thing. Just wanted to show you the chart on Tesla. It is amazing. It's currently, when this is taken, it was up $109.23, so almost 20%. Very, very volatile. But it looks as if it's moving into an area right here. Basically, it looks like it is finding some support at about the 680 level, and we will see how it trades tomorrow. But that's kind of an interesting that has bounced so strongly. Also, just kind of wanted to show you my holdings currently. I did move out of Valet, the company Valet, the mining company. It pulled back below my stop loss, and it was sold out. I'm down a little bit on Ford, at 2 cents. Halliburton's off a little bit. Rent-A-Center just continues to move upwards. It's just amazing. Granite Construction, and then I added Westlake Chemical. It's down a little bit though, and we'll see. I still have a short on Lululemon. I entered the short at about 300, so I am positive on it, but I may be closing that depending on what the action is on it. But I do believe, at least I'm going to hold into the short as long as I'm below the 10-day line. So that's kind of my take on that. So without further ado, let's get to some of the questions, and thanks for holding on. Thank you very much for watching today. All right. What will the next few days look like? Is it a base in tech forming? Thoughts, please. This is a good question. I can't really say, what's going to come, what's going to happen with that. It's difficult because I don't think it's been long enough for it to base. I do think it could take another leg down. It just is very, it's just very, kind of, I don't know what you could say. It's just it's really volatile right now, and it seems like it can't really make up some. The market seems like it's having trouble making up its mind with with things. So let's take a look at the Nasdaq. Let's look at the S&P really quickly here. There is a rotation out of some of the there is a rotation out of some of the techs into the more other areas. Even though there was a rush back in to Tesla today, I don't know if that really qualifies as a as a reversal, but it was significant. And this is the S&P 500 index. It's pulled above the it's definitely pulled above the 50-day line and above the 21-day. So it looks like there's a reversal on the S&P 500. So it does look like it is on the S&P 500. Now let's look at the Nasdaq Composite. Of course, this is a little bit in it. There, it does seem to be making. It does also seem to be making a reversal as well. I'm still on the jury's still out on the on this for me, because we're still below the we're still below the 50-day line. I'm going to be a little bit more bullish when the Nasdaq moves above the 50-day line. So right now I'm still kind of, the jury's still out. It's pulled back and it is pulling up, hopefully above that 50-day line, and that that would signal that would signal a movement more towards that would I think be a little bit more bullish. But right now I think we've got to be very concerned in terms of it's still early, and it doesn't seem to, even with today, it's just a little bit it's just a little bit difficult to come fully back into the market right now. It's just it's just been kind of that sort of thing. So okay, well, let's go to the next question here. And so, it's really, I do think you got to be a little bit careful this next few days. I think it's just going to be, I think right now, I think time is just basically to get your watch list ready and, and just wait. This is always the hardest. I find this, and I've been doing this for a while. I find this the most difficult part of the, of investing, is basically waiting. Because I'm action oriented. I like to be in the market, but sometimes, you can't, because it's just not there. So you just got to be patient. That's all. And I do think that we will get a signal to come back in, and it will come basically when the Nasdaq Composite moves above the 40-day lines or the 50-day line. So that's kind of my take on it. Let's look at DD. Thank you very much. And this, of course, is DowDuPont. It's the merger of two very, very large industrial companies, DuPont and Dow. It actually trades under the symbol DD, but the name actually is DowDuPont. I mean, it's DuPont Two Neighbors. This is one of the oldest companies in the United States, believe it or not. It was founded way back in, I think, about 1802. I went to school close to where their headquarters were in Wilmington. I did my undergraduate work in very near there, so that was always been a big company. It's looking pretty decent. I mean, it's got a relative strength of 75. It has been kind of pulling back since it made its peak back in January of about 87.27. There was a buy point there on a consolidation base. Let's see if I can pull that up. Yeah, there we go, on a second stage consolidation, but it's pulled back since then. I think that you got to watch this one really. I probably wouldn't be in it until it went a little bit higher, and this is due to the fact that it doesn't have as good a checklist. It's only 55%. The ownership and funds, I think, are very solid. 1,945 funds are in it, so that's excellent. But the industry rank is still low. But chemicals are not a bad place to be in this market. So it's definitely if you haven't entered it yet, I would be a little bit careful. What I would do on this one is I would be basically, at this point, I would be adding to watch list. on this one. That's sort of what I would, that's sort of how I would do it. I would be adding this one to the watch list just because it does have strength. It's looking pretty good, but you got to be in this market. It's just a little bit harder to buy it. I think you just have to be a little bit more cautious here right now. It's just not. Unfortunately, it's not the best. I mean, I want to see some more conviction here before before the market changes. This is a tough time to get in. You always kick yourself, say, well, I could have gotten in there, but believe me, you want to make sure that this is indeed a bounce. Currently, we're in a market, we're correcting, the market is correcting, and we haven't had what they call a follow-through day. But I do expect if that does happen, then it'll be off to the races. So you want to build your watch list right now. All right, let's take a look at DraftKings. Thank you very much for this one. This I got shaken out of this one. DKNG is the symbol, of course, and it looks like it is reverse course, which is kind of a good thing. It looks like it has bounced on the 10-day line. It's up $1.99 today. Basically up about 1%. Is this a good place to buy it? Well, it's a little bit extended above its buy zone. It's a cup and handle buy zone on this one, and the buy zone for this one with a stage 4. And here's the thing: typically you want to buy it when it's in the first or the second base, but the fourth base you can buy in the fourth base, but these typically fail. So you have to be a little bit cautious here. There is a buy point right at about 55.98. So at this point, I think that you've got to watch this one to see how it performs. I don't think necessarily it's up 3% today, which is excellent. I would be a little bit cautious buying here. You possibly could buy here, but it is extended. You've got to realize that it is extended. So if I were to buy at this level, I would only enter with basically about a third position maximum. And basically, what do I mean by that? Well, a third position basically is one full position is basically 1/8 of the value of your portfolio. So it would be 1/3 of that. So you just basically want to do kind of almost like a starter position on this. If you decided to enter this, I personally probably will not be entering DraftKings at this level. I kind of want to wait to see a little bit more conviction. I want to see it move either above 64.19. That's the former high, or possibly pull back into the buy zone. Right now it's extended, so I probably would be not in this one. But if you decide to put it in a pilot position, and that's something you definitely can do, I would only do a third. I would do a very small pilot position. Again, the market hasn't turned yet in general. It's still pulling back, so this is a tough place to buy it. So but it looks pretty decent. Just want to check a few other things on DraftKings and make sure that we still have a good checklist. 77% on DraftKings, which is excellent. Now, of the two competitors, DraftKings in this space, I think Penn National is the better of the two. So you might want to consider, if you're interested in this space, in the online gambling business, and I think it's going to be very big, you might want to consider Penn National, because it's a little bit stronger. It's up $6 today at 115. So this moved up very strongly. It's the thing about Penn National, as opposed to DraftKings, is that Penn National in this chart, it just tested the 40-day, the 50-day line. It tested it. It's moved higher. This thing, this would be a pretty good place to buy Penn National, because it's on a reversal. So this would be potentially probably a better entry than DraftKings, but they're both pretty good. Here's the thing about Penn National. It has a little bit, it's just a little bit stronger, not much, but it's a little bit stronger. 719 funds are in this one, and Fidelity Country Fund in this. So they've got some very, very strong funds in in Penn National. So here's the thing, between DraftKings and Penn National, I think you might want to look at Penn National Gaming on that. I'm not in it, but it is not bad at all. All right, next question, plug and fuel cell. Let's look at plug power. Okay, let's look at plug. Excuse me. We still don't have the chart that we have on plug right now is pretty steep to the downside. This one has not made a confirmed reversal yet. You got to wait for the reversal on this one. I think it's not bad. I mean, it's got a 99 relative strength, and the trend line has moved up a little bit. We have some good buying in there. So it's here's the thing I would say with plug, you've got to really wait for the reversal on you've really got to wait for the reversal on plug. So that's sort of how I would I would play it. I would wait for the reversal. I would buy on that uptrend. But right now we're not there. Right now we have pulled up, but we still have a downward trend. So this is kind of a watch list. And I do think that it may improve, but I kind of want to see it move above this line here. This is the 50-day. I prefer buying as they move above the 50-day. Here are my rules. I typically will never buy anything below the 200-day line. That's this black line here. I like to buy on the reversal onto the 40-day line. So as this comes above the 40-day line, that's an ideal place to buy it. Right now it's below that. So I kind of want to wait to see if this reversal confirms here. If there was a reversal on this, you would want to, on plug, you would want to buy it. Basically, let's get the exact number. See if I can get the number here for you. You would want to buy it as it moved above about 53.50 is where you'd want to buy it. So here's the thing, it's pulling back. Hopefully we'll see. It looks like we have the beginnings of the reversal, but I would be a little bit cautious buying at this level because the market is in a decline right now. The overall market trend still is down. We haven't had what they call the follow-through day. Now we may get the follow-through day by the end of the week. And if we do get the follow-through day, then we really want to start buying. But right now we want to be a little bit careful because, the coast isn't totally clear here yet as well. So let's take a look at fuel cell, FCEL, and see about that one. FCEL. Okay, fuel cell energy. Same kind of chart. Basically the same chart here, kind of chart. We've pulled back, and we're now starting to see a little bit of movement again. I think you want to possibly look above the 40-day. Above the 50-day line. So here's the thing: I would watch list fuel cell. I would wait until it crossed above about 1820. 1820. So that's kind of the thing. Wait for the reversal and buy on the uptrend. Pretty much the same for both of these these stocks. But I appreciate the right now it's a little bit tough. This is kind of the area of the market that I always have a little bit of difficulty in, because I do believe that we will see a change in the direction, but we're not there yet. So we have to be a little bit careful. I'm pretty much in cash right now. And I'm trying to wait for the reversal. BP for buy point for Tesla. Wow. You know what? I was really, it's funny. I was looking at Tesla this morning and before the open, and, I was like, should I or shouldn't I? And I was going to dive in. And of course I didn't. I said, no, I better be careful. And of course, wow, it was a huge reversal on Tesla. Here's the thing, Tesla and Peloton and those kind of stocks are going to lead and they definitely are still leading. So they have not given up on that. Here's where I would consider possibly a buy point, and this would be above about 780. If it moves above 780, I would buy it. But here's the issue that I have right now in Tesla, and this is this is something that you've got to see right now. Tesla has been below the 10-day line since about February, and it looks like it has pulled above the 10-day line. My guess is we got to look at it tomorrow to see if it continues above the 10-day line, and if it doesn't reverse, then I believe it's probably going to pull back a little bit lower to maybe about the 650 level. We really have to see a pull. In order to buy Tesla, we really have to see it move above the 10-day line. And currently the 10-day line is about 683. So I think about 680 is where I want to see it move. Well, let's see if it's give you that right. Just put it right on there. Come on, there we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. We have to see if this is going to hold above about 660. I didn't quite have my stylus in there correctly. If this holds above 660 tomorrow and it continues upwards, I think then we could possibly buy it. Right now, it may pull back down a little bit lower. It looks like it has bounced. Basically, it bounced at about 550, which is amazing. It does seem like there is a floor at about 600. So, this is going to be a tough one. I suspect it's probably going to pull back tomorrow a little bit. And, we want to buy it as it's moving above 660. Right now, it's 670. So I think we kind of missed the window. But right now, for Tesla, here's kind of how I would play it, and it's not going to be easy because this is kind of the thing about Tesla is it can move just tremendously. So here's what I would do: the buy point on Tesla is above about 660, but wait. But wait, really. I mean that's really my that's really what I would say. And this is kind of what I'm doing. The buy point on Tesla is, let me show you the chart here. The buy point on the Tesla is right at this pink line here. That's the 10-day line. Currently, Tesla is above the 10-day line. It's up $110. My guess is tomorrow it's going to pull back, and the question is how far it's going to pull back. I don't know, but it's going to probably pull back a little bit. Now, if it doesn't pull back and it moves higher towards the 21-day line, that's definitely a buy signal. But right now, I'm looking at a buy point of about 660. I'm probably not going to buy it, but it's definitely moved in that direction. Here is the trend line, and as you can see, it looks as if we're still on the trend line. We're still on the trend line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert on that trend line at about 680 is where I'm going to set my is where I'm going to set my alert, is right about here. So if it moves higher than that, then I want to see if there is an alert. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to delete that old alert. That was at the 50-day line. So if it moves above this level, then I think that we might, it might have confirmed a reversal. But it's going to be tough to buy it at this level. It's bounced, and it's not going to be an easy one to buy. So I want to buy it on an uptrend. Are we out of the correction? No, unfortunately not. We are not out of the correction yet. Yeah, I think I think that's a very good question. That's a very very question. We are not out of the correction. yet. Need to wait for the follow-through day. And we may get that. We absolutely may get that very soon. But we're not out of the correction yet. We're not out of the correction yet. So we really need to wait to see if the House passes the stimulus bill. I think that's very wise. We're not going to know. We're not going to know until that happens. So that's definitely, that's definitely an issue as well. So let's see if we can go to some of the questions on TikTok, and let me go if I can go and put that up on the screen for everybody. There we go. Oh, there we are. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to see if I can answer a question on TikTok. Oh, here we go. You told us to sell before this Ukraine. Oh, okay, well, better safe than sorry. Okay. Well, I don't always get. Oh, well, look at that after hours. We are going nuts after hours on Tesla. It looks like. Goodness. Okay, we seem to be dropping. No, yeah, we seem to be dropping. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Wait for the bounce. 5 minutes ago, Wall Street Bets explained why. And that probably will be down to 5. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I think Wall Street Bets has some very good traders on it. So, I would be, I would be definitely looking at that. Let me see if I can get another question here. I'm a little bit, yeah, I miss Tesla. Yeah. Well, I know. Sometimes you just don't. You can't get everyone. You can't get everyone. I totally agree that. Okay. Well, I'm not right 100% time. But if it does firm up and start to reverse, Tesla then maybe buy tomorrow too. We'll see. It's basically holding. It seems like it's holding. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Let's take a look at the Tesla stream. We just went to the after hours. We just went to after hours here. But yeah, Tesla looks like it's holding up in the after hours. It seems to be. Let's look at I want to look at the 5-minute chart. Let's see if I can get the 5-minute chart up here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of buying. This is the key. So here's the thing. It looks as if I've got my my thing in here. So here's the thing. It looks as if it's how the stock ends in the day, and it ended at at right below 680. So if it moves above 680 tomorrow, it's probably a buy. Wow, I can't believe that. It's probably a buy. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that, but it looks like that is the case. It may pull back though. We got to see how it's going to open tomorrow. And what I will do is if I will definitely take a look to see how it opens tomorrow. Now, here's one thing that you've got to be careful with. Some of the largest some of the largest up days are when you're having a correction to the upside. I know that sounds very strange, but as the overall market declines, this is when you get some of the largest reversals. So the question is, will it hold up tomorrow? And that's really the question on Tesla. If it moves above 680, I think you could get aggressive. But I think you got to be careful right now because it is not. We're not out of the woods in terms of the market yet. We're still in correction, believe it or not. Okay. Okay, a question on NEO. Boy, you know what? I think I would be very cautious with NEO right now, because Tesla leads and But I think you got to be careful with NEO. NEO has pulled back tremendously. Let's look at the chart on it. Yeah, as you can see, we've had a real big pullback on NEO. It pulled up nicely today, but NEO is still even with the after hours action. NEO is still in a decline. It's still declining in terms of it's still declining. So unless it moves above basically the 10-day line, which is about 43.50, then we are still in decline. Our trend is still down. So here's what I would say on NEO. At least for right now, I think with NEO, NEO is still in a downtrend. So that's my that's my take on it. NEO is still in a downtrend. I think you want to probably avoid it right now. I could really eat those words, but I think you want to avoid NEO. Yeah, I think you want to avoid it. XPeng. So we're going. These are the Chinese EVs, of course. XPeng being XPeng Motors and Li Motors, and NEO. These are the three that are sort of the Chinese, make up the Chinese market. Except for there's also a stock that trades on the Hong Kong exchange, which is BYD, and that's another one as well. This chart just doesn't look good. I mean, yes, it did trade up today, but I'm not convinced that I want to see a reversal. I want to see a reversal on this one before I can get excited about it. Currently, that's the trend line. We still haven't moved above the trend line. We do have some nice we do have some nice volume coming here, but right now, it's just right now the trend on this is still down, and so basically all I could say from this one is it's trend is still down. Watch list and wait for reversal. So that's kind of that's kind of the take on it that I have for XPeng. The trend basically is still downward, and it's just not it's not ready to go yet on that. There we go. It's misspelled, but the trend is still downward on this one, as you can see with this trend line here. It hasn't reversed above, and when it breaks through the trend line, then we can possibly do something there. But right now, the trend on this one is downward, and we need to wait for a reversal. So I would not recommend jumping in on XPeng, at least not until we have seen a little bit more conviction, because it just doesn't appear that has broken the trend yet. And of course, I always like to buy on the trend. I don't like to buy as a stock is moving downward. I want to make sure that it has moved and reversed before I buy it. So let's take a look at Palantir. And that one is, I was in Palantir. I was shaken out. Kathy Woods definitely, came in and did buy a bunch of Palantir. I think that, part of the reason that possibly, that Tesla snapped back so much is that yesterday Kathy Woods came in and apparently her ARK funds bought a lot of Tesla. What I did today, the only real trade I made today was I did a bull put spread on ARK funds, ARKK. I'm gonna put that together in an email and send it out to everyone, kind of what I'm doing. But this is the chart for Palantir. It's still the trend, unfortunately, is still downward. Okay, it's still downward. It hasn't reversed yet. It's kind of the same old thing. I put an alert here at the 50-day line. You know, it looks like it may be in the beginning of a reversal, but you know, here's the thing on Palantir. There is the bottom of the consolidation is at about 33 is it about 33.50. So I just think that you have to be a little bit careful. 22.50 is the bottom of the consolidation, and 33.50 is the top of the consolidation. I think you've got to wait on this one as well. It's so hard to wait. You know, you always want to jump in, but I just think, you know, this is very, very hard. I think I would wait for, you know, wait for a reversal above. And I think that you really have to wait for a reversal above the 40-day line, and that may be, you know, you may not agree with me on this one, but I would be a little bit cautious. I would wait for it to move above about 28. You know, I would wait until it's you know, I would wait until it moves above 28. So I would wait on above 28. So that's really how I would play. That's where I would play this one. I would wait to see if there's a reversal, and then as it moves above the 50-day line, that's where I would be buying it. Right now, I just think that, you know, it hasn't yet hit the bottom and hasn't shown strength. This could break down even further. So I think it's prudent. You're not going to get it right at the bottom. This will reverse, I'm pretty sure, but I'm just a little bit leery on this one. I want to see it kind of, you know, I want to see if it holds the 22.50. It's right now at 24.22. It's off a little bit after hours, just slightly, not a lot. I do think, though, if this thing reverses, we might have a very good play. So PLTR reversal is what I'm looking for. So that's how I would play this one right now. It's going to be a little bit more. To be honest with you, right now, it's going to be a little bit more difficult on some of the tech names, because they have just, you know, they were up and they pulled back, and so, you know, it's a little bit difficult right now on some of the tech names. Let's look at CRISPR, CRSP. This is a great stock, by the way. CRSP. It's been pulling back a little bit. It hasn't been. You know, again, it's showing exactly. If you look, it's almost exactly the same. This pullback, basically, that you know, that we've seen in all of these stocks, but this one might, you know, it looks like it has bounced off of the 200-day line. Try never to buy a stock below the 200-day line, but this one has moved above it. So this is actually a good, if it can hold above the 10-day line. I'm going to put this down. CRSP above 10-day line. Then this might be a good one as well. I don't know if there's a reversal yet on this one, but it's showing 79. There is some strength there. That's good. Let's look at the checklist. The checklist is very poor, unfortunately. It's only a 33. Boy, I just think you're going to have to watch this one. I wouldn't be jumping right back in this one until it just shows a little bit more strength. I like the company a lot, but I think you got to watch this for now. I think you got to watch this for now. You know, even though we had a even though we had a strong, we've had a strong day today, this does not mean that we are totally back into, you know, we're totally back in the Nasdaq. So, unfortunately, have a question from, and this is a good question from TikTok, and I'm going to show that on the screen for everybody watching on YouTube. And by the way, if you're on TikTok and you want to take a look at kind of this, it's available right over here. It's available on YouTube at youtube.com/DallasTradingFloor. And the question is a good question. Basically, the thoughts on Apple. So basically, let's take a look at the chart. And I'm going to pull up the Apple chart here real quick and see what the situation is on Apple. Apple has pulled back very strongly yesterday, and the question is, can we, what can we see? What can we see for Apple? So I'm gonna move over here to Apple AAPL, and interestingly enough, with Apple just hasn't performed well since the split. It still hasn't reversed higher. There is a 137.98 buy point on this one. It's lower after hours. It just doesn't appear like it needs to move above. It probably needs to move above the 50-day line before we can buy it, unfortunately. And that is, let's see if we can get that. Yeah. The 50-day line currently is this red line, and it's about 130. So really, I wouldn't be a buyer on this one until it moved above 130. And the reason is because I don't think that necessarily this has changed its direction. I still think that we want to see a reversal, and we haven't seen it yet. So I would be waiting until it was above 130. So I'm going to put that down on kind of my list. I'm going to say above 130 on AAPL buy and reversal. So that's how I would be. That's how I would be playing it right now. Okay, we have a question on Workhorse. Now, as you know, Workhorse lost a large contract to Oshkosh, and this really tanked their stock badly. They have tried to go in and and change that, but I just don't think that the stock looks very good after this. It's just pulled back too hard. Now we're starting to see a bounce, but it's below the 200-day line. It's not buyable below the 200-day line. It really isn't, and I think you've just got to be. Unfortunately, you've got to avoid this one for now below 200-day line. And this is kind of painful because this was such a good one, but avoid this one for now. Really, it's below the 200-day line. The 200-day line here is this black line. Now let's kind of look to see kind of what the checklist is saying. So 66. So that's okay. That's good enough for me. It's got fund sponsorship, and it's in a very good industry rank. But this is below the 200-day line. If it moves above the 200-day line at about $20, then I said 2,000. That's not 2,000. It's the 200. I fat fingered that one, didn't I? Okay. It's above the 200-day. Is above the 200-day line, and this 200-day line is right here. Is right here. So it's just right now you don't want to buy it because it's below that 200-day line. If it pulls above that 200-day line and truly reverses, then I think you might be able to justify a very small position. But right now, I think you got to kind of be watch listing. I think you kind of got to be watch listing this one. I just really do. You really do. So let's see if we have any questions from TikTok. All right. Okay. Well, all right. Space. All right. So let's look at space. This is Virgin Galactic. I did well on this one into earnings, but I haven't played this one for a while. Just because, this is a tough one in this kind of market. I want to show you the chart on it again. And it is, it's just another one of these charts that is, that is just, it's pulling back. So, so that's the kind of thing. So I would avoid it. I would avoid that one right now. I really would. All right. Hey Jim, hope you're doing well. Thank you. Is it a reversal on Nasdaq or just when, you know what? I think when this, I think, and I don't mean to be negative Nelly here because believe me, I'm a positive guy. I don't think it's a dead cat bounce, but I'd be very, very careful on this one. Let's wait for the follow through day. I will tell everybody out there about it when the follow through day happens. Right now, we're in a market in correction. So I think it's very, very dangerous. So, now here's the thing, and this is very classic because many times the biggest increases in terms of price come when the market is in the downturn, and that would make sense with Tesla. That's why I think it probably pulled up so much today. When the market is in correction, that's when you see the big bounces on the former leaders. So I'm still real skeptical about this. I want to see a turn in the market. Now, obviously, I hope that it will, but I will definitely tell, alert everyone about a follow through day. So currently, if you're on the list, if you're on the, if you're subscribed to Dallas Trading Floor, on the, for action trade alerts. Okay. All right. Come on. There we go. Okay. So subscribe to action trade alerts. You just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor. And of course, it's free. And what I will do is if we do see a change in the direction of the overall market, I will send out an alert, definitely, that we have. But right now, we're still in a confirmed, we're not in a confirmed uptrend. We're in a market in correction. So this can be a very frustrating, hard place to trade. All right, let's look at ISRG. I don't know ISRG. ISRG is not coming up. All right. And Intuitive Surgical. Okay. Yeah. And I have an alert on this one. Actually, I can see it here. Yeah, we still haven't seen a reversal on this one. It's just pulled below. It looks like it's just flirting with the 200-day line. So currently it is, it's just on this one, it's below the 200-day line, not a buy, right? So that's what so right now it's below this 200-day line. That's this line here. Okay. And it looks like it may have just bounced and pulled up above. I want to see it move higher. I don't, if this thing moves above this trend line here, see, I've drawn this trend line here. I am watching Intuitive Surgical. It's one of my favorite stocks. Then it's a buy. But right now we're still in a test. You see how it comes down like this? And then it'll test and then it'll move up. Now, here's the thing. This is the first time that it has tested the 200-day line since back in March of last year. So, we still could have we could still have a ways to go here. Let me just check another stock. I want to check another stock here real quick as well. All right, so that's what I would do with Intuitive Surgical. Again, and I would wait on this one. Maybe I'm a little bit too cautious here, but I would probably wait on this one. I just want to see how Lululemon is doing. If I should shut my, well, I probably should. It looks like we do have a reversal, so I probably will be shutting my short tomorrow on Intuitive on this one. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we might have we might have seen a reversal. We might have seen the beginning of a reversal. So, we might have seen the beginning of a reversal based on the stock that I'm following. All right. Okay. Tesla. We already did that. Okay. Doing well. How about NNDM? Let's look at that one. NNDM. Nano Dimensions. Wow. This one just isn't ready to go, unfortunately. It's still, we're earnings in 2 days. I would watch this one. Yeah, sorry, Wendy. I wouldn't buy this one right now. I think it's still in a downward trend. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it reverse higher before I would be in it. So that's my take. That's my take on it, on Nano, on Dimensions. All right. Question on OPTT. All right. Let's look. Ocean Power Technologies. Boy, another one. I don't see a reversal there yet. Yeah, it's still pulling back, and wow. Delta Spreader Systems harnessing wind and waves. It's got a 55 checklist. I'd avoid this one. There's just better. There's just better out there right now. So I would I would basically avoid. I would avoid this one. I just would avoid this one right now. So that's my take on it. So I wouldn't be a buyer of that one. All right. Thoughts about SVM? Let's take a look at SVM. SVM. All right. And okay, interesting. Canadian mining company. Awesome. Interesting. $5. Yeah, the miners have actually done fairly well, actually. And I don't really like the chart on this one, but I don't like buying anything below the 200-day average, which is this black line here. But this is not necessarily terrible. Okay, it's got a 55 checklist. That's pretty low. It does have some funds on it though, so that's good. Let's see. Relative strength 14. Oh goodness. I think you want to boy, I'm being negative today. I can't believe it. I just think you want to avoid it. I think you want to avoid this one. It's just tough until we get a follow through day. It's just going to be tough because there's just a lot of stuff that may move higher, but right now it's really tough because we want to avoid coming in too early into the market. And I do think though we will see a reversal, but I think it's still just a little bit too early. All right, let's question here. Any thoughts on Twilio? It was so bullish and then lost almost a quarter of the value over the past week or so. Hold tight for comeback, sell now. Sell. Always on this one, and I know this is really painful. But here's the game. You always want to be buying stocks as the market is moving higher. So I would sell Twilio now, and then if it does come back, then you can always buy it back. You can always buy a stock back. Remember that. You can always buy a stock back, but you need to protect your upward gain. I mean, this week I started bearish, and now I'm switching to bullish. Right now, this is a tough market, but here's the thing: I wouldn't hold on to it, and here's why I wouldn't hold on to it, because it can go much lower. I mean, Twilio literally could lose half of its value in a month. So the question is, if you're down more than 7%, I always sell, and it's painful. I mean, there's sometimes when I'll sell and then immediately it'll turn around and it'll jump up and I'll kick myself, but it protects your capital over the long term. So that's my advice. I would definitely sell. Hey, Jim, do you like DM today? Long term, pretty good being the fishing. Okay, DM. All right, let's look at DM. Let's see. Desktop metal. I don't know anything about this one. I know that people have been talking about this. I don't know the stock at all, to be honest. It's got a bad checklist. I mean, 33, and it's in a downward trend. It's in earnings in 6 days. Let's look at the daily. I just wouldn't be a buyer of this one. I'm a little bit risk averse right now, and that one I probably wouldn't be a buyer of. I mean, go for it. I mean, if you want to go for it, but I wouldn't be a buyer of this one. It's just too right now. I'm just not there. Let's look at Target TGT. TGT to see Target. Yeah, it looks like it may have a reversal. That would be great. Let's. It looks as if it's upper hours. It's 64 relative strength. It's still a little bit low. There's a big sell signal here. This is kind of telling me that there was a big sell on. Oh goodness, I don't think so. No, I have a little bit of issues. Let's look at the daily chart to see if there's anything I can. Well, it looks like it might have made a reversal. It looks like it bounced at the bottom of that consolidation. So I mean that consolidation basically is right there. So the question is, wow. You know what? It is buyable, but it's buyable above this, above the 40-day line. So I would watch this one. Right now, I think I think you've got to be much more careful. I think you know. A 50-day line and I'm going to say price. Yeah, 186. So here's what I would do with Target. I would watch list this one, and I think it's buyable, but I would buy it not at this level. I know that it's tempting to buy at this level. It's always, but I would wait until we saw some, make sure that the reversal confirms, because here's the problem. Here's the trend. Here's the trend line right here. You see, that's the trend line, and it's right below this trend line. Now, if it moves above that and then moves up to the 50-day line, then I think we definitely have a nice reversal, and it's a buy. But as you can see, you want to make sure that it moves above that 50-day line. This is the last time it really pulled back, and it moved up above of that very nicely. This is what happens. As long as it is trading above the 50-day line, then I think it's much more of a buy. It tested here and it tested there. So it's tested once, twice, and then this is the third test. But I want to see it move above that with strength before I would buy it. So here's what I do. I would watch this one, and I think that's just what you got to do. That's what you got to do on Target. For right now at least. Okay. Let's look at one last one for today. Thank you so much for hanging on. Okay, let's see. You said to wait on Plug Power and DraftKings. I think so. By the way, I think, with DraftKings, I think you should take a look at Penn National Gaming, PEN. It's a little bit more expensive stock, but I think it's set up better. That's just my opinion. But I would wait on both of them for a reversal. I just really don't like buying when we're in a correction. It's tough to do that. Right now, the market is in correction. All right. Yes. Did Tesla have a reversal? This is a good question. Let's take a look. You know, I probably should have been in on Tesla this morning. I mean, I was considering it, believe me, on the market open. But here's the problem. Here's the danger. I wouldn't say problem. It's not a problem. Here's the danger with Tesla right now. You can see we have the trend line. I've drawn the trend line. Okay, we're still in a downtrend because we've moved below this trend line. Now, if Tesla moves above about the 21-day exponential, which is right here, I'm going to put my little price on it. If it moves above about 700 or so, and then it will have confirmed a reversal. I'm saying that an early entry on Tesla would be about 680. Okay, so as it moves above 680, then I'm interested in it. But let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. Well, let's take a look at the 60-minute. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, this is how Tesla has been trading, and then boom, it moved up very heavily today. Now, will it continue? Probably will continue tomorrow. But I'm kind of putting my flag in the sand at about 680. I'm probably going to be a buyer above 680 tomorrow. I'm not going to be a buyer now, but let's see if it continues its trend. Let's see if we can get, if we truly have a bounce, or there may be a pullback, and I don't want to buy it as it's pulling back. So I'm going to probably set a buy stop limit order for probably about, I'm probably not going to buy more than about 30 shares, but I probably will put in a buy stop limit order at about 680. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it to buy it as it moves above about there. That's where I'm looking to buy it. I don't want to buy it unless it shows strength, because this rally might peter out. So I'm going to probably do a buy stop limit order at 680 plus 10 cents. So what I'm going to do, my game plan, my game plan on Tesla tomorrow is to set a buy stop limit order for 680 plus 10 cents, or 680.10. And that's so this is basically my game plan for tomorrow. It would help if I spelled it right. My game plan for tomorrow is basically this is on Tesla, is to buy it as it moves above about this 680. So I'm not going to put it right at 680. I'm going to put it at 680 plus 10 cents, or 680.10. That's how I plan to buy Tesla tomorrow. But I'm not going to, but I want to see how it opens in the morning. I may or may not do this depending on how it looks like it's going to open tomorrow. If it's going to open higher, then I'm probably going to do this and adjust this, because I think if we can see a follow through on this, then it's important. Now remember, the most important thing when you're looking at a stock is not how it opens, but how it closes. And it looks as if if we have another strong day on Tesla, then I think we could be in a situation where the market moves higher. But right now we're still in correction. So with that said, thank you everyone for taking a look today. My little show. You can sign up for the action trade alerts. It's very simple. It's very easy. Just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor, first and last name, and you'll be on the list and send it out. I'm probably going to put together I did do a diagonal. It's a kind of a screwy one, a diagonal spread I did do diagonal spread today, and I will show you how I'm trading this one. This one going forward. It's on the ARK funds, so it's kind of, I'm laying off a little bit of my risk, but it's on the ARK funds, and it might be something that you might be interested in. It'll be available probably at about 6 o'clock or 6:30. I'm going to put it out on the Action Trade Alerts. So if you're on the Action Trade Alerts, you will definitely receive it. And also, so if you're looking on TikTok, super easy. By the way, the whole show will be uploaded to YouTube. It'll be available in about 30 minutes. If you want to get the Action Trade Alerts that I send out to everybody for free, super easy to do. Just go to my profile, hit the link, and just need a first and last name and an email address, and we'll send it right out to you. So until tomorrow at 2:30, I was a little bit late today, but until tomorrow at 2:30, happy trading.